Wait, am I live? I'm live. So guys, welcome back to the channel. I'm just gonna quickly react on Allegri's press conference and Danilo's press conference. Basically going over what they said, heading in tomorrow's game. First of all, I want to say the press conference was very disappointing. It was disappointment. The things that were being said were just very generic. No difficult questions were asked. It was just all easy questions for Allegri, in my opinion. No journalist really asked him the hard questions, like why do you set up like this? Why do you keep persisting with basically a formation and it's a playing style where it's very difficult to create chances, where it's very stale, very predictable, like everybody knows what we are doing, like it's very easy to defend at the moment against us because we keep doing the same basic things. There's nothing special in the way we play. So no journalist asked him a difficult question. It was all I will call it generic, like very easy questions. You get very basic answers from Allegri, like just recycle old quotes. Like you can go and watch his press conference after the Empoli game, after Sassuolo game, after the Verona game, and you can just copy paste it with today's press conference. And that's not only on Allegri, but it's on the journalists. Like they asked very basic, very basic questions. Like nobody asked him, like, why do you play 4-4-2 with, let's say, Rabiot? They asked him, how's the team feeling? And well, they're feeling like shit. Like that's just such an obvious question to ask Allegri at the moment. So press conference was pretty useless. The things he said made it even worse for me. Because going off what Allegri said, he thinks everything is okay. Like he thinks it's just like how I call it. It's passion. It's a passion thing. Like it's desire. I think. Right. Going off his press conference, he thinks it's just effort that's the problem at the moment, and it's not just effort. It's much more than just effort. But yeah. So let's go over his Jaap is saying, if I was a journalist, I would ask, does he think the formation adds to the problem? And it's exactly the question I had in mind. Like, nobody asked Allegri, like, do you think playing a 4-4-2 with Rabiot or even Chiesa on the left makes it part of the problem? Nobody asked him that. Like, they asked him, like, very basic questions, like, how's the team feeling? And what was another question? I forgot. I will go over it now. But just nobody asked him direct questions. Like, are you the problem? Like the way you set up, is that a problem? Nobody asked him that. Like they tried to ask Allegri that, but they tried to masker the question. I don't know why, but yeah, that's what he did. So the first thing he said, so tomorrow we can achieve our first goal of the season by making it out of the group. I mean, that's a given. Like, you're Juventus, you're in a group with Zenit, Malmo, and Chelsea. You should make it out of the group. So, yeah. I mean, tomorrow I think 1 point will do to make it out of the group. When the group stages when the draw happened, like everybody expected us to make it out of the group. So, I mean, if you qualify tomorrow after 4 games, great. I mean, but that's not gonna solve our issues. Also, I didn't know Zenit scored 11 goals in 2 games. That's quite insane. And going off the way we defend and we struggle to even score goals, again, it's not an easy game tomorrow. I said it before. I'm not confident in winning tomorrow. I'm not at all. Like, we lost to Sassuolo at home, who yesterday lost at home against Empoli. We lost against Verona, so why should we be very confident going in tomorrow's game against Zenit? So again, then he said in 5 days time. So the Sassuolo and Verona game, he said we threw everything away we worked for in the previous 1.5 months, and that's the feeling I have, because I said it before, when we were basically getting those good results, like solid performances, like giving away nothing basically in those 1-0 wins, those 4 1-0 wins in a row, I said, oh, like we're back. I said we are a very hard team to beat, and then we lose against Sassuolo and Verona. So yeah, they threw everything away. And based on these last 2 results, I'm not gonna say, like, even if we go on an unbeaten run of 5 to 10 games again, I'm not saying we're back, because this team has shown over the course of almost 2 entire seasons now that they can switch on and off whenever they feel like doing. So you cannot trust this team at all to be very consistent for a very long time. You just can't trust them. So I agree there with Allegri. They threw everything away in those 1.5 months, and that's a shame, but that's the reality at the moment. He also said it's useless to talk about the problem. Like, we have to find a solution. At the moment, we have to keep quiet. Whoever wins is right, whoever loses is wrong. We have to keep quiet and work, like, again, just copy paste comments from basically after every loss. So nothing special in there. Then move on. Wait, let me see in the chat. Marco saying we are in a mess. You think Allegri adapt and changes his idealistic tactics? No. Again, I said I expect him to make changes the coming week, and then that was before the news came out that they were going into retiro, so in retreat, saying like no players allowed to go home until Saturday. But going off today's press conference, he really thinks that the formation, the setup is not the problem at all. Like, he believes that the problem is like application, like desire and passion and excuse me, and the will to fight for the ball. Like, yeah, that's part of the problem, but that's not, I don't think that's the main issue. Like, and going off his press conference, he believes that's not the main issue. He believes the main issue is like grinta and passion and stuff like that, and desire and winning second balls. But it's far deeper than that. Like, but we will get into it. Like, let me see. He said, if I had to guarantee that by switching to a back 3 we will win every game, I would also switch to a back 7. It's a question of phases. Even in Zenit, we didn't have a very good defensive phase. Like, I agree. Against Zenit, we weren't, especially in the second half. It was not like we were solid. Like, it was just Zenit being very poor going forward, that they didn't expose us a bit. But again, at the moment, Sassuolo and Verona are exposing us, so I wouldn't be surprised if we get exposed tomorrow once again. And then he comes up saying it's not a question of the defensive setup, rather than we need to improve the defensive phase in the various moments of the match. And that's basically the only thing I agree with in his whole press conference. Like, you need to understand the moments, like the goal we conceded against Sassuolo with Bonucci bombing forward in the last minute when he is basically the last man. Like, he's a central defender. It makes no sense. He didn't understand the moment. It's just crazy. Like, he is an experienced player. He has been the captain of the team. So that's where I agree with Allegri, that you need to understand certain moments. Like, a point in the position we are in is a point, and it's sad to say, but that's a reality. And as long as this team will not even understand that basic things, then we are in for, like I said it before, a roller coaster of a season. We will win games, lose games, draw games. Like, you will never know which Juve is going to show up, basically. And that's that. So yeah. And then he went on to say, oh, so one journalist asked him, and I think he was hinting to Allegri, maybe you need to change things up formation wise, and he said Chiesa, Morata, Dybala. He asked the journalist, had asked him, and Allegri replied with, if I'm not mistaken, they played against Sassuolo. Well, yeah, but they played in a 4-4-2. I think that's not what the journalist was basically trying to ask. He was basically trying to ask, are you going to switch to a front three, like a real front three, not in possession? It's that like a Liverpool type of formation. Well, Allegri said that, so you can say no. Like, it's not even crossing his mind at the moment. So I expect just another 4-4-2 tomorrow with Chiesa on the left, Morata and Dybala up top. That's what I expect. And that's very disappointing. Like, I tweeted it out yesterday when the news came out that the team was going to stay together for 7 days or like 6 days. I said the only positive thing that can come out of this is if he try out new things. If he keeps playing a 4-4-2, then it's all show for me. Like, it's all media thing. Like, we went in retreat just to get, like I said, it's just the application. He thinks just the passion, like winning duels and stuff like that. He thinks that's the biggest issue at the moment. It's part of the issue, but it's not the entire issue. Like, we have bigger problems. Like, we struggle to create chances, and that's also coming from the way he sets his team up. Like, again, I keep repeating it, 4-4-2 with Rabiot on the left is just insane. Like, it's even on paper it looks crap. Seeing it on the field, it looks even worse. So again, if he thinks he's doing nothing wrong, then we have a serious problem. Like, I'm not the only one saying it. Like, even ex-players, ex-coaches are saying the same thing. So it's not just us. Again, I like Allegri, but he can be very stubborn at times, and at the moment he's being super stubborn. Then I will go in the chat in a few minutes, guys. He said, because he was asked about Morata, like, is he going to play and things like that, and he said, it's not that Morata has become poor. There are times when everything goes right. Other times, basically, when you don't score, you have to think less and work harder. I mean, Morata has these periods every 3 months since basically he came onto the scene, since he joined us 6 or how many years back. Like, that's Morata. He has these moments, and at the moment it looks awful. Like, I gave him a 0 at the player rating. That was one of the worst performances of a player I've seen in a very long time, and we have Rabiot and Bentancur starting for us every week. So that's how bad it was on Saturday. Like, at the moment he is a ghost on that pitch. Like, he does nothing for us, but he plays for the other team. He loses everything. So yeah, a player can have a bad moment, but Morata is notorious for having these months, weeks where he just totally disappears. And as a coach, you need to basically make a change. Like, you cannot go and keep playing Morata even if he keeps dropping 3 out of 10s every game. It doesn't make sense. So I get he's trying to defend him, but like, let's be real, it's not good. It's really not good. So yeah. Jaap is saying, in the game versus Verona, at one point Quadrado had the ball in our half and a Verona player slightly tucked his, and he felt, I don't know what he's saying. I need to say we can't just change the way we played until now, because we already did great before the last 2 games. Translated from Just Juve. Let me check, because I don't understand. We can't just change the way we played until now because we already did great before the last 2 games. That's bullshit. From Allegri, like, yeah, you won games 1-0, but like, we all said this is not sustainable. Like, you cannot go the entire season playing like this, winning 1-0. That's not happening. That's not possible. That will not happen. Looking at our squad, it's not possible. So yeah, Marco is saying it's really frustrating to see our attackers defending every game and having no power up front. I could rage, and that's how I feel with Chiesa. Like, he is doing so much things off the ball that going forward he lacks, how do you say that? Like, he lacks a clear head. Like, he is, I don't know what game it was, but it was like 65 minutes and he was huffing and puffing like on midfield. Like, he was tracking back like a madman. And going forward, he will offer you not nothing, but close to nothing. Again, playing 4-4-2, when you need to play on the front foot, it doesn't make sense to me. Like Julian always said, there are no patterns. Like, there are no things you can really do with a 4-4-2, and I agree, it's just very basic. It doesn't make sense at the moment. Like, we said it before the Verona game. We saw the team, and I was like, how are you gonna create enough chances with this setup? Like, and it showed. We created nothing. Like, we created nothing besides Dybala taking shots from outside of the box. We have done nothing, and that's not just today. Even in the 1-0 games, we created close to nothing. That's a reality. Moriza saying Max failed to understand that his players perform better when play with other team and coach. I don't understand that question. Yab is saying, is Allegri watching a different match every time Juve plays? What does he mean when he says Morata hasn't become poor? Morata is terrible. All he does is falls on the floor and curse. Like, he's trying to defend Morata. Like, he's basically saying he's just having a bad period. Every striker has a bad period. And I agree, every striker has one bad period, but he has 3 or 4 bad few weeks during a season. And that's why I say he cannot be your starting number 9 if you want to move to a higher level. Like, he cannot. Like, he can be a good squad player, but he's too expensive to be a squad player. So in summer, move on. But at the moment, he's there. But that does not mean you need to start him. Like, give Caio a run. Like, he played 90 minutes against Verona, Morata, and I can still not believe he played 90 minutes. Like, if I think about it, I get angry. Like, he played 90 minutes against Verona, and he was absolutely terrible. Like, he was awful, and he stayed on that pitch for 90 minutes. That's not Morata's fault, because he cannot sub it up. Like, he cannot say, I'm coming off. That makes him look weak. It's up to the coach to say, man, you're playing like shit. Come off. Caio, you have a go. But he didn't. Like, he made it even worse for Morata just by keeping him on that pitch. So yeah, Marco saying at this point, it only can get better. As a spectator, it's disgusting to watch this Juve. Marco, I don't agree. I think it can get worse. It can get worse. Like, if you keep playing a 4-4-2 and the way we set up, we can win a few games. Like, we can win tomorrow and against Fiorentina. We can come back from international break and lose and draw the next game. Like, that's how we are playing at the moment. So in my opinion, it can get worse. Like, and getting worse, it's just staying on this lane. So win a game, win 3 games, lose a game, draw a game, win another game. Like, that's top 6 football, top 10 football, basically. So I think it can get worse. Let's see tomorrow. Let's see tomorrow what will happen. The French girl is saying Morata's weak. He's passing 30 and will not get any better. You were paying 34 mil for him. Will be laughable. We will be basically complaining about him. Like, again, we already paid 20 mil for Morata for 2 loan deals, basically. 10 million euro last season, 10 mil this season. That's already too much. He's also on 6.5 million euros. If you spend another 35 mil on him, that's 55 million euros for Morata. That's insane. Like, just don't do it. I said it before. I said it at the start of the season. Like, I understand why we kept him, because we had no money. We struggled to even get Locatelli. But Vlahovic is there, and you need to somehow make it work. Like, it's that easy. The difference between Morata and Vlahovic is insane. And Vlahovic is at the start of the season. Morata isn't. Basically experienced player, and he plays like someone who just came and burst onto the scene. Like, mentally he's weak. He's almost 30. I think he's 28. He turns 29, and he plays like an 18-year-old kid, and he's in a bad period, and he goes head down. Like, that's not normal. That's not worth 55 million euros and 6.5 a season. Absolutely not. Let me see. Yap is saying, at this point, any Juve fans who listen to Allegri and eat up that crap, they don't know anything about football, and they aren't watching events right now. Allegri should just realize he's wrong. Like, Allegri will not. He's stubborn. Like, that's why I don't expect him to change things up. Like, I expect him basically to do that, but he's not gonna do that. Like, he's staying with his principle of playing, also because going off the press conference, he thinks it's not the setup, he thinks it's the approach, like mentally and stuff like that. He keeps saying technically we make too many mistakes and we don't win duels, we switch off. That's great, but even when we played a 4-4-2, we were scraping wins. So it's deeper than just our approach to the game. So yeah. So he also said it's not easy to come back and win. It takes time. It takes time. You have to build. At the moment, things aren't going well in the league. Well, that's obvious. I mean, okay. And then he said, I have an intelligent team that understand this bad moment. Nobody expected us to lose 2 games in a row at the time. We have to react. We have to win a few more matches and a few more aerial duels. And that's why I'm saying he's not changing anything, because he keeps repeating we need to win some duels and we need to understand the moments. Like, but he never says things like, maybe I need to change my setup. Maybe this player cannot play, like Robio cannot play on the left. I need to stop doing that. Like, I need to play players in their natural positions, even if they're not the greatest players, but it's better than playing players out of position, in my opinion. That's just how I think about it. Philip is saying, Jack, you have 3 big problems. Max, coach, too bad, lineup. I cannot read that. Okay. And then he also said, it's not a question, and this is basically why I said we are just going to play a 4-4-2 forever. I said that based on the comment that he made right now. So he said, let me see. He said, it's not a question of technical values, but of the approach between big games and basically normal ones. So the smaller teams. And we miss the normal ones. We have to work so that this does not happen again. He really believes it's only the approach that is wrong. And that's very worrying. Like I said before, don't believe everything Allegri says, but I believe him when he says these things. Like, he really thinks it's just approach. Only the approach is going wrong at the moment. That's what he believes at the moment. Like, he thinks if you win more duels and we don't switch off that many times, we will go on a crazy run. Like, if he really thinks that with the players he has in the team, oh my god, like, we're not even going to make top 6 if he really believes this. Like, if he really believes it's just an approach thing, then oh my god, like, it's gonna get way worse. Like, because I think Marco said it can not get worse. It was Marco. He said, but if he really thinks it's just approach thing that is wrong, like, it's just approach and the way we come into games, if he really believes that's it, then we're not even making top 6. I'm saying it now. Like, if he really thinks he doesn't need to change his formation, his personnel in certain moments, then it's gonna be a very long season, and the next one will be even longer. Again, I tweeted it out, like, this retreat, basically, if nothing, the only positive thing that can come out of it is he changed formation, or he changed the way we go forward drastically. Otherwise, it's just, I don't know what it is. Like, it's just basically a 6-day sleepover, in my opinion. If you think it's only the approach and basically the togetherness that needs to change, then it's not looking good for us. Jaap is saying, I understand we are a club in transition, but transition doesn't mean to play bad and lose. Like, it's not the biggest transition we are having in our history. Like, we still have very good players. Like, we had squads with much worse players and we did better. So yeah, it's a bit of approach, but it's also the way we set up as a team. Like, he did that before, it worked, but he had Mandzukic on that wing, he had Khedira, he had Matuidi, who to me are better players than what we have now. They were more suitable to the way he wants to play. Like, it's also on Allegri. He needs to understand what team he has, like which player he has, which player can do X, which player can do Y. Like, it's also up to him. He's the coach. It's not approach that needs to change. It needs to change, but it's going far deeper than just approach. And at the moment, it's like he doesn't want to hear that. So it doesn't look good at the moment. Marco saying, will Allegri get sacked when we don't get top 6 or 4? Let me see. At the end of the season, no. He's not getting sacked. He signed a 4-year deal. Agnelli is not gonna sack another manager, a manager he picked to basically guide this rebuild. I don't want to sack another manager. Like, he needs to get us out of this. Like, and he needs to understand the team he has at his disposal. Like, it's not Agnelli's fault that he's playing a 4-4-2 with Rabiot. It's not Rabiot's fault that Allegri is picking 4-4-2 with Rabiot on the left. Like, that's on Allegri. So he needs to understand he's making bad decisions. Like, it's not just approach. Jaap is saying, my biggest problem is this damn 4-4-2. I hate it. He has a team for a whole week. Hopefully he can work on some different formation, and that's what basically I hope these 7 days are being used for. Otherwise, if it's just team building and getting close together and stuff like that, then it's just crap to me. Because if he doesn't change anything, this 6-day retiro, how you want to call it, will happen again. And then what are you going to do? Go again and retreat? Like, it will be a joke. Like, it needs to be more than just coming together like a team building. He needs to work on things. He needs to change things. That's it. Jaap is saying, can this channel start doing halftime shows during the games? That's very difficult. Because during the games, I'm just watching the games. Like, even after the games, I'm not coming on because I need to cool down, even if we win. So maybe that's something for Justin. You need to ask Justin if he wants to do that. But at the moment, no. We're not doing that. Maybe watch along. Maybe Julia and Justin are going to start doing watch alongs, but that's also without me because I'm into those things. Mohammed is saying, I want to say this team can train all they want. It won't change a thing until they sell this useless midfield. We have accept Loka, of course, and only way for Juve to see to sell this midfield. Like, we all know this midfield is not good enough, but these are the players we have. Like, we cannot change that. Not even in January we can change this around. So he needs to, again, that's what I said a few minutes ago, he needs to realize what players he has. What can McKennie do? We all know what McKennie can do. And at the start of the season, he admitted he used McKennie wrong because he played him as false 9 and something like that, and it was a mess. Like, it was against Empoli, it was a disaster. Like, McKennie is someone who can pop up in the box and score goals. He did that now against Sassuolo and against Verona, and that's his best quality. Like, on the ball, he is awful. But if he can make those runs and pop up in the box and score goals, he's very useful. So that's something Allegri only figured out, I will say, a few games ago. But he needs to also realize, like, you cannot play Rabiot on the left, like basic things. Chiesa on a 4-4-2, and you let him basically track back for the entirety of the game. Like, going forward, he's going to offer you close to nothing. Philip is saying, let me see. Moritza is saying, I don't think Max will change his tactic. He'll keep push. Like, he will keep playing the way he's playing. It will depend on the management. They will buy more players to Allegri style. Like, as I've always said, like, if you have a manager, you need to back him. Like, if he wants a certain type of player, then you need to give him that certain type of player. You cannot basically hire a manager and then go sign the players you want and the manager doesn't like. Like, it doesn't make sense. But if you give Allegri 3 options, you give him, let's say, Tchouaméni, Gravenberch, and Witsel. Like, no, if you give him the option Tchouaméni and Gravenberch and he says, I want Witsel, then that's the moment as a club you need to say, well, we want to work with you. Like, you can have what you want, but we're not giving a 30-year-old one that type of deal when you have a 21-year-old Tchouaméni and a 19-year-old Gravenberch who can play the same positions. Like, pick one of them. We're not giving you Witsel. Like, that's basically the line that needs to be drawn by the club. Like, yeah, we will back you, but to a certain extent. Like, if the age is not right and all those things, we're going to say no. Mohamed is saying we can at least change one player in January, and that's McKennie or Rabiot, and then Betancourt next summer. Like, who are you gonna get? Like, the player you're going to get in January is Witsel. Like, let's face it, that's it. You're not gonna get Tchouaméni, you're not gonna get Gravenberch, not even Vlahovic. It's Witsel or it's nothing. It's that simple. And then you need to, like, I like Witsel, but I don't want Witsel at the club for the next 3 seasons when you have younger options who can play for much longer, and even if they want to leave, they have sell-on value. Like, it doesn't make sense to me. Like, just ride it out until the end of the season, in my opinion. Marco saying, why is 4-3-3 not possible with the squad? I think it is. The only problem is the only thing he needs to figure out is where will Dybala play. To be honest, I have no idea. I don't like him. I don't really like him on the right in the 4-3-3. Can he play down the middle? Maybe. I don't think so. It depends on the game. It depends on the game. It really depends on the game. But then again, look at Liverpool. They can do it. Okay, Firmino does a lot of work off the ball. Can you ask that from Chiesa? I think in a 4-3-3 you can. But he's not. The point is, he's not going to do that because he believes it's not the formation. He truly believes it's the approach, the way you go into a game, like the mental aspect. He really believes if that gets resolved, everything will be fine, and that's scary. To me, that's scary. If he really believes that after these couple of results, then oh boy, it's gonna be a very, very long season. Let me see. Key is saying we don't somehow like Witsel. We need players that pass and move. I'm fed up with this balance. Yeah, but I understand why he wants Witsel, but I like Witsel, but his age, no. Without Dybala, we played every game solid. Since he's back, we lose. Maybe it's on him. I don't know. Nah, it's not on Dybala. Like, it's not. It's not Dybala that tells Bonucci to basically abandon his position in the last minute. It's not on Dybala that Cuadrado loses his ball and the goal happens. Like, it's not on Dybala that the entire defense is sleeping when Simeone is basically tapping that in. It's not on Dybala that the entirety of the defense just backs down when Simeone is taking a free shot. Like, that's not on Dybala. That's what Allegri is saying, approach, but it's not just approach. Like, yeah, you can defend, but going forward, we offer nothing. Like, absolutely nothing. We are so predictable going forward. It's becoming embarrassing at this point. Like, Mohamed is saying Witsel is still better than McKennie right now, and also Betancourt, so selling McKennie and getting some money and using Witsel temporarily until we get a younger player. But Witsel is not coming for 1 season. He's coming for 2 or 3 seasons, and people forget, like, he's on almost 8 million euros at Dortmund. He's not coming to us for 3 million euros. That's not happening. You're going to give Witsel 5-6 million euros, and that's a no for me. I understand what you're saying, and I like Witsel, but no. Giving him 5-6 million euros for the coming 2, maybe 3 seasons is a dumb investment for me. Again, I like Witsel, but no, I'm not doing that. French girl is saying Allegri is ruining Chiesa. 3 more years of Allegri and Chiesa will not reach his potential. I think he's misusing him at the moment. Also, he played a lot of games. Maybe I think that is playing a bit a part of it, like in his performances, like on the ball. He's also making mistakes, like simple things he's getting wrong. It's not all on Allegri, but I agree. Like at the moment, the way he sets up Chiesa he sets him up to not fail, but to have average performances. That's it. Mr. Dax is walking home from school. Well, stay safe. Don't look at your phone. Just listen. Marco saying, let's see it positive. Oh boy. Our joy will be even bigger when we start playing better and more creative. But yeah, Mike. Will it? Like, we are 11 games in the season and we are, correct me if I'm wrong, 16 points behind top. Not saying we are aiming for the top, because that's gone, but just in general, we are coming from 9 winning seasons. Last year we scraped top 4. We won the trophies. I don't count the Supercoppa. Like, if we start playing attacking football now, will we all be happy? It's 11 games in the season and we have lost so many points. I think 16 or 17 points. Like, that's like playing attacking football from tomorrow until the end of the season is not going to change my opinion on this season. It's a mess. Like, even if we make it into the top 4, it's still a mess. So I think going forward, playing more attacking football, create more things, will only basically soften the pain of the season. That's all it's going to do, in my opinion. But again, I don't believe we will flip the switch and play attacking football in the coming games. I don't see where that's going to come from out of nowhere. And that's just based on Allegri's Allegri's press conference. So that's that. Let me see if there are any other comments. He is saying, I agree, Dybala is the only one trying to be creative. He doesn't trust his teammates. I don't know if that's true, but if that's true, I understand why if he doesn't trust Allegri, if he doesn't trust Morata at the moment, he cannot He cannot hold on to the ball to save his life, Morata. Like, I rewatched the game. I always rewatch the games. Oh my god! If you just keep an eye on Morata, his movement also, like, he makes it so difficult for Dybala or even Chiesa, if he's playing, no matter who, to basically build something up with him. He picks up so many wrong positions, especially in front of goal. That's so strange for a striker. Like, he runs past his own players. Like, I don't know what he expects from Dybala. I think he thinks Dybala's a magician, that he can plays the ball whatever he wants, but it doesn't work like that. And that's what I said. I think Caio needs to get a chance. I said it. He needs to get a chance against Verona. He started Morata. It was a disaster. I think he needs to get a chance tomorrow, but I don't think he's gonna do that. So yeah, he is saying the thing I wonder is, what are they doing on the training pitch, because I can't see any patterns, so I don't know what impact a transfer like Witsel will do. Like, in 4-4-2, there are no patterns. Like, it's very predictable. I understand what he want to do with Witsel, but it's not sustainable with the players we have. Like he He's trying to use Chiesa and even Rabiot as a Mandzukic. Like nobody can play that role. Not even Mandzukic knew he could play that role, but it's very clear none of the two he's using at the moment will play that role. And I hope like playing Chiesa in that position is criminal. It is. But let's see tomorrow. Marco saying, what will be, in your opinion, the best option to buy for attack and midfield? Well, it's Vlahovic. Like I think the answer is very obvious. It's there. It's staring you in the face. Like he's available. He wants to stay in Syria, but it's up to Juve to basically free up the funds and get the deal done. That's it. And midfield, I've always said I like Gravenberg. I think Tchouaméni is better at the moment. I think that's obvious, but I also like Rovella. I think getting him back will improve our squad, our starting 11 in my opinion. But let's see. I think it's too early to talk about transfers. Like we're only 14 games into the season, including Champions League. Tomorrow, game 15. And we are already talking about transfers. Like that's telling. Like the season is almost over for us. So yeah. Mohammed is saying, read my comment. I think I read it. I don't see a comment. Oh, he's saying, I'm afraid if we don't make it into top 4, players like De Ligt will leave, and I hope no, because he's the future of the club. We cannot lose him. I think he will leave even if we win the Champions League. At some point, he's going to leave. Like, there is a clause in his contract. Let's be real, the clause is in there for a reason. Like, they plan to leave at some stage in his career at the club. So, I think not making top 4 will only accelerate it. But it's going to happen at some point. Key is saying that's a problem with it he is the only manager that insisting with the Mandzukic role. I don't understand why not a single top team in Europe uses that role. Again, he needs to understand he is basically making mistakes, and at the moment he's not understanding that. Like, it is what it is. Like, it's frustrating, and going off his press conference, he's not going to change his mindset, basically his style of play, anytime soon, and that's very sad. Like, the thought, just thinking about it, makes me angry. So yeah. Let me see if there are any other comments. Otherwise, we're gonna wrap it up. Let me see. No other comments. I think I read them all out. Let me see. He said, just look at Napoli. 3 years, 3 different coaches. They pass and move, and make it themselves. Open an option. I mean, yeah, I think Napoli are the best team to watch in the league at the moment, and that's just a reality. Like, I know it's Napoli, but I think they are not yesterday. Yesterday they played it. Oh my God, no. I cannot pronounce your name, and he says, I think McKennie suits the Mandzukic role. No, I don't think. I know why you're saying that basically, but I don't think he can. No. No. I don't think no. But I know why you're saying that. But yeah, I'm gonna wrap it up for now. So today, no daily news video, but Justin and Julian will do a match preview at just normal hours, like standard bianconerizone live. So stay tuned for that. Again, tomorrow, I'll say it's a must win. I know 1 point is enough to make it out of the group, but it's a must win going off our last results. Like, you need to win that game, and you need to show that going forward you can create chances. That's what I expect tomorrow. Just create chances, because that's the biggest problem at the moment. We create nothing. Like going down a goal or even 2 goals now, you can say the game is over, because we struggle to create chances like big time, even against smaller teams. So again, must win tomorrow, and that's it. As always, like the video, subscribe to the channel, and see you in a few hours.